Hey, welcome to Protea Conversations, episode 11. Today I'm with Brendon. Brendon, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Brendon Lane, and I'm an account manager at Protea.
Great. Brendon, where do you reside at?
I live in Napa. I've been here for about 2 years. My wife is from here, so moved up into Napa County.
Great. Uh, just for sort of context, how long have you been at Protea now?
Um, about 5 weeks now, so it's still very, very new.
How's it going?
So far, so good. Yeah, really, really enjoy it. It's different, having a team in South Africa and being fully remote, but yeah, so far, really, really enjoy it.
Enjoying the time at home?
Yeah. My dog enjoys it more than I do, but yeah, it's nice to be able to be at home and get a nice work from home situation and get everything kind of situated and feel like you're in an office, but still have that flexibility.
Yeah, no, it's I've always enjoyed working from home, and I've worked in big companies where I had to be in the office as well with managing big teams. I do like the idea that some days I just don't have to like get dressed up. I can just like roll over to my couch and get stuff done, especially on super busy days. I've always found that really helpful.
Yeah, it's definitely makes everything a lot more flexible. Like you have a coming back from a long trip on a Sunday night, you don't have to dread getting up Monday morning, getting all dressed. You can kind of roll out of bed and make the most of it.
Right. So you joined us from a fairly well-known winery uh, near you. Tell us about that role and sort of what you were doing before you joined Protea.
Yeah, I was a senior accountant at the winery. I was assisting the controller in all the day-to-day stuff. I was handling most of the AP and the AR, and then assisting with the monthly close. And I was there for about 10 months.
Great. Let's go a little bit further back in your career because it's definitely an intriguing story, a little bit different from like my plain old boring. I was an accountant from day one, and I'm still an accountant. So you started your career in a totally different profession. Tell us about that different profession.
Yeah, so it's very unorthodox start to this career. So I played collegiate basketball at UCLA in Pepperdine. And when I completed at Pepperdine, I had the opportunity to kind of pursue a professional career. So out of college, I went and played in the NBA Summer League. I played for the Kings there. Kind of did all like the pre-draft NBA scouting, that kind of stuff. And then obviously I wasn't good enough to be in the NBA. I was kind of that fringe right below, but there's a lot of leagues overseas, and I was able to play in Japan for my first year. Um, Good year there, but then I wanted to be more, not such a culture shock, I guess.
Mhm.
So I moved to a team in Germany for 2 years, and had a great experience there. And then the last year, another opportunity in Japan came back up, and a little more mature at this point in my life, and felt more comfortable going back to Japan and kind of dealing with those cultural differences. And I loved that last year there. Ultimately, I had numerous injuries and kind of got burnt out of the sport, mentally and physically. So my wife was just getting out of law school, starting a job. So she was kind of like, all right, I'm ready to, move in together and kind of have a normal life and no more long distance. And I was kind of in that same headspace. So that's when I moved back home and got my first job in San Francisco at a hedge fund accounting firm.
It's just amazing. You know, you're pretty much my dream right there, playing professional sport. I was never good enough at any sport, not even close. So it was just never going to be an option for me. But, one, making it at a collegiate level with both of those schools being really prestigious programs, just like, you know, I cannot imagine all the sacrifice you had to make to get there. So just sort of well done on that. Um, and then obviously, the NBA is small. Like there's not a lot of players, and to sort of, when you sort of it didn't work out, and you looked at other options, and you still sort of lived the dream. For me, that just says so much about you. And I it's for me, it's just so impressive and just amazing. It's just an amazing story to tell the truth.
Yeah, I mean, I had some crazy experiences and stuff I can look back on, and it's the game has taken me to so many different places in the world. not even when I was playing professionally, just in high school, I was able to go to Africa, go to Shanghai, go to France, Germany multiple times. So basically from freshman year of high school on, it was kind of a whirlwind, nonstop basketball, traveling all over the world. But it's a great experience.
Absolutely amazing. You said that you wanted less of a culture shock than Japan, so you decided Germany was a good choice for that, because it's a pretty big culture shock itself, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is, but in Germany, everyone can kind of speak English, or at least can kind of understand what I'm saying. Where in Japan, I mean, if you're in Tokyo, there's places that you're fine, but if you're in rural Japan or outside, the language barrier is much more difficult. And in Germany, the way the teams were set up, they had 6 foreigners, so there were 6 Americans, versus in Japan it's 2 or 3. So you have one. I was pretty lucky to have good teammates, so that 1 or 2 other guys we get along well with. But I mean, I know guys who've been in situations where if you don't like that one other guy on the team, that's pretty much the only person you're speaking to for the whole year. Unless there's a few Japanese players that can speak English pretty well, but it wasn't as prevalent as it is in Germany.
No, I can imagine. And pretty good beer in Germany as well, so that's super helpful.
Yeah, it was a fun environment. The city I was in was a big basketball city. Obviously, soccer's their big sport, but the town was where I believe Dirk Nowitzki played there. So they're huge into the history of basketball there. So they were pretty diehard fans. It was fun.
So great. I'm just looking forward to more stories that I learned from you over the time. So live vicariously through your past is going to be fun for me over hopefully the next few years.
Yeah.
What do you think your biggest lesson was from your whole basketball career? Like, what's your biggest takeaway? What is the lesson that you could share with others?
Probably perseverance and hard work. Playing professionally, you learn how to deal with a lot of problems, whether that's injuries, management on teams. There's a lot of pressure on you to perform. So you kind of learn how to, treat all those different obstacles. And, at the end of the day, working hard as you can, you can work through anything. It may not be what you think it's going to be, but there's always other opportunities as long as you kind of put in the work towards it. So yeah, I think just keep on persevering through everything. I had surgeries, I had torn ligaments, back issues. You kind of learn how to play through things, and it always seems like the world's going to end in the moment, but you kind of just push through it, and it's always, you learn some lesson from it.
Yeah, I like that. To what I hear from that is one, hard work pays off, and putting in the time is whatever you put in is what you're going to get out. And second, there's going to be tough times, but if you keep persevering, good things should happen.
Yeah, and I was fortunate in my career to able to bounce back from a lot of things, and I had a good career. And I know there's a lot of guys who can't say that, and part of that's luck, and part of that's being in the right place at the right time. But I think working hard puts you in that position to have those opportunities.
Yeah. One of the cool things, Brendon has his own Wikipedia page, which is always exciting. We'll put that in the description of this video as well, so you guys can all check that out.
I need to make sure my brother likes to go in and edit it every now and then to throw some things in there, because obviously it's not the most followed page, so no one's correcting it.
Yeah. I get in there and really and Brendon's career highlight was starting to work at Protea Financial.
You could. I mean, he put in something that was in there for a while, so it's not gonna, feel free to adjust as you want.
No, it's just an amazing story, and it's for me it's a good sign of who you are. And just having been around athletes before in my life, on a not on the same sort of magnitude, and I understand sort of the dedication, the hard work, the belief in yourself, that all comes through with you, and it did from the first interview, which it sort of became a pretty quick no-brainer. I got to hire this guy. So It's great to sort of see that come true. Like you sort of see those personality traits come through, and 5 weeks in, they hold true to who you are as well. So that's been really great to see.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear so far. Hopefully I can keep that reputation as long as I'm, yeah.
So 5 weeks of Protea, a little bit of a quieter start than most have sort of had in the last few months. There's a lot of work, but they're all just in this sort of weird holdish sort of phase. Let's slowly get into things. And I think both you and I understand that, especially one of those projects that could get a little crazy over the next few weeks. But how's it feeling? How does the concept of helping these smaller wineries sort of get their lives in order feel?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, yeah, it has been a slow start, but the conversations I've had with the owners of these wineries, you can really tell that you're making an impact in their day-to-day business. They're looking to us to really help them grow their business to whatever goals they have. And I feel like there's very few jobs out there where you can have such an immediate impact on a company. Usually if you're coming into a bigger company, you're working your way up and you don't really have those opportunities. But here, working with multiple at the same time, they're smaller, family owned, single owner. So you can really kind of have that impact.
Yeah, it's one of the things I love about the job as well is ability to make difference in people's lives. And you've always felt that way, obviously, through 2020 and into 2021, we saw immediate effect, in terms of the PPP. But I'm glad that you're seeing that. That's good to hear, from day one.
Yeah, it's been great so far.
And you mentioned working on with the team in South Africa. How's that working out for you?
It's good. It's a big adjustment. Obviously, it really forces you to be very clear and concise in what you're expecting out of them. You can't just hop on a call and kind of walk them through something. So that side of the communication is really key. But it is nice. You can focus on what you need to do during the day. Figure out what needs to be done, assign it to certain people, and then you wake up in the morning and either the work's done or they have a question on it, and kind of it's a 24-hour cycle. So it may seem sometimes during the day like you're slow because there's no one to really give stuff to, but overnight all of a sudden it gets done and the next day you have it ready to go.
Yeah, a little Workability is getting it done overnight is it's a big selling point. It's always, some days I could be trying because I'll go to bed, I'll be like, my inbox is clear, and you wake up and I got 50 emails. What a fun way to start my day.
Yeah, that's definitely an adjustment. The first thing rolling out of bed, you see all the emails. So that's part of the adjustment, is learning how to create those times for work and for yourself, and not looking at emails while still laying in bed and then start stressing about the day.
Yeah, I definitely don't do it in bed, so that's definitely a good lesson. Don't look at your emails in bed. Bad idea. How's the delegating going? I know that can always be a challenge for people starting out because that person isn't there for immediate sort of satisfaction of getting the work done. How's that portion of the work coming along?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the biggest adjustment for me. Coming from a role where I was doing a lot of that day-to-day work. So now I have to trust someone else to do that. So yeah, it's a learning process, and especially with newer clients that I have, is getting these processes figured out and then being able to delegate them and trying to balance that out.
Right. So going forward, obviously the hope is that you'll be around for a long time, adding value to those clients, adding value to the team. But what do you think you can add? Or what's that Brendon magic that you can add to the team going forward? What's that special quality that you bring?
Oh, I think with that, the athletic background in that, in my history with that, bringing that perseverance and that hard work. I don't have the biggest background in wine as some people, but I think, bringing that enthusiasm and that perseverance and kind of working through stuff and trying to, figure out what the client needs and achieve those goals for them. And then bringing that also that teamwork aspect, being able to uplift the team in South Africa and kind of helping them grow as well.
Well, just remember when I started Protea, I had 2 months of wine experience. So you got more than me starting out at Protea.
Yeah.
So, Brendon, thank you so much for your time today. It was really great to interview you for Protea Conversations.
Yeah, this has been great. Thank you.